My name's Chris Atkinson. I'm calling in from Sugar Land, Texas today, and it kind of feels kind of different. I've been on the road for a while, and to be home and have a normal white background, hadn't had that in a while. But not going to be here long because the team is already calling for in-person meetings. So we're going to start traveling all around the U.S. and do some meetings coming up, starting in 4 days. And but golly, I kind of want to get to other places too. Where's the team going to spread? Am I going to get to go to Greece and Norway and wherever? Hadn't been to any of those places. So, I prepared. Have you prepared? I got my passport. I'm all ready. And it's going to be a blast. So, hey, why don't we get the day started? And I met this gentleman just a couple of short months ago. First time I met him was over the phone. But wasn't a Zoom. It was a phone call. But then a few days later, when I got to meet him in person, I don't know how, but I knew who he was before I got introduced. Didn't hear his voice. On the phone, I couldn't see a face, but it's just like, that has to be him. And since then, we've literally talked every single day. Well, because I was taught years ago, that's what you do with a sponsor. You reach out and you talk to them every single day. Now, this morning, I kind of got my world rocked a little bit because he called me, and I'm like, oh, cool. I need to answer this, and because it must mean something important. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get the day started. Glad you're here. Welcome aboard. We're all going to the top together. Let's bring the man himself up, Mr. Ron Williams.
Awesome. Can you hear me okay, Chris? Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, good day to everybody. By the way, wherever you're from, if you want it in your language, go to captions and click on your language so you can get the interpretation if you need that. I'll give you a second to do that. Also, if you have people you want to hear today, please text them really quickly and have them join us. We'd love to get this message to as many people as we possibly can. My name is Ron Williams, and I'm the Chief Visionary Officer here at Shopply, and I'm joined today with our CEO as well as a great panel we have today. So I won't take too much time, but I'll let you know this. We're involved in something so wonderful that we're right now in the process of beginning to do our very first transactions. In fact, we're a few days into it and ramping up greater and greater. I will not take Rob's announcement because I know he's been in the subway of all the activity. I'll give that to him, but you'll get an update from Rod Larson here in a minute, our great CEO. So folks, look, we have a great company right now. We have a company that is harmonizing what was diluting itself, meaning that there was verticals with retail, verticals with affiliate programs, verticals with influencers, influence selling, and then direct selling. All these things are competing with each other, trying to get the same exact sell with an oversaturated marketplace. So what we've done is we've taken, look, let's decentralize the marketplace, give it back to the people, let the people determine all the rules, all the game, and run and create and dictate its own economy for that matter. So that's what we're doing here at Shopply. Many of you have accepted the invite you've received from somebody, and so happy to know that you guys are on with us today. Now, right now, we're in the process of upgrading to Influencer Pro. That's happening right now, and I'll leave that to Rod if you talk about that, but it's very important. So for those of you who want to know a little bit more about Shopply, I'll tell you before we play this video for you that this is a company that focuses on the things that unite humanity and not divide us. We have far more things in common than we do apart. It's that vision that's bigger than all of us because it's going to every single country and including people that otherwise would be left out in a scenario like this. So I like the way we're starting, 130 plus countries and lots, over 100,000 yeses in 3 weeks, guys. Pretty nuts. So very excited. So let's play the video. It explains a little bit of Shopply, and from there, it's going to go on to Mr. Chris. Back to you, Chris, when this video is done. Thank you, guys.
Welcome to Shopply, a new groundbreaking worldwide open market. It isn't just a tech release. It's the start of a new era in business. Welcome to decentralized commerce. This marketplace platform lets you control the terms of selling to empower the seller to build your own team of influencers and affiliates. If Shopply doesn't have it, find it, claim it, and earn on every future transaction. Shopply is powered by a vibrant community of social influencers. Decentralized commerce simplifies choosing between retail stores, online platforms, affiliate programs, and direct sales. Removing the middleman, it unifies each area into one universal conversation and conversation globally. Join Shoply now and be a part of our inner circle for an exclusive sneak peek at our dynamic technology. For a limited time, lock in your free position in this exciting new company and invite 5 friends to join us. Once you're in, you'll get 5 invitations to share with your most influential friends. It's time to create income in your spare time and start living your dream. Welcome to Shoply, the future of decentralized commerce.
You know, there is so much that I enjoy about that video. You know, at the very end, come on, live your dreams. How many of you stopped doing that? Right? So that gets me charged up every time I hear it. I was just downstairs talking with my wife, and it's like, you know, where we're living right now, we have to make a decision by the end of November. And we're not going to make it yet. Yeah, we're gonna have some belief in ourselves that we can get started big enough and strong enough with people like you that we might be able to get that dream home sooner than later. But then at the very beginning, and kudos to everybody at corporate for the vision. It already said version 1, version 1.1. You see, they're not resting on their laurels. They're always going to continue to strive to give you and I a better, easier, simpler path that's always duplicatable. That's the key in all of network marketing. Without duplication, you might as well just throw in the towel. But with it, those dreams do become your reality. So with that, I know we're in the middle of a fun time right now, a time that many of you have never experienced in your whole life. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. We know it's the hot topic, and the guy has his hat on because he is charged, ready to go to be our head leader, our coach, all the way through it. Ron, I hear that people are wondering when their upgrade is going to come to them. Is that coming in 2024, or y'all going to push this off to 2026?
No, we're rolling right now, and thank you, Chris, for hosting today and getting us going. I really appreciate it. I'm going to spend 2 seconds first and do a shout out to everybody who took the time to say hello from where they're from. Off of the chat, folks, if you are, or excuse me, off the Q&A, if you haven't given it to us, let's do it. Little roll call from Denmark, Greece, Curacao, thank you. Iowa, California, Chicago, North Texas, Rochester, Panama Beach, Indiana, Utah, Canada. Yes, Nick, we see you. We see you, Nick from Greece. Thank you. Let's see, DC, Wisconsin, Norway, Sweden, Tennessee. See, now everybody's putting them in because they're getting their shout out. Thank you so much, Houston, Texas. Just want to say hi. We realize it's a Sunday. It's time for us to get together and do a little housekeeping, if you can, for the week, the beginning of the week. Get the energy started. Have your coffee in front of you. Whatever you got going. Now's when we kind of recenter and start going. And so I want to thank you guys, each of you, for joining us today. Let me give you a State of the Union as it sits right now. In the company, we have probably somewhere getting close to 5,000 invites out. Okay, and there will be, by the end of the day, invites is the wrong word, 5,000 upgrade notes in your invite system have gone out. By the end of the day, that number will be 10,000. By tomorrow, the entire system will be open for everybody. Okay? Now, what does that mean when it's open for everybody? There's a couple of you. First of all, let's cover a few things. This is how the system works right now. When we're doing this right, we're doing it to monitor and make sure the banking issues, any international issues relative to phone numbers or dates or structures, whatever, we needed to make sure we got that tightened up. We all know that there's a couple of pricing issues in the receipt. Clearly, it's not what you pay up front for the license is not what you pay monthly for the fee. I won't go into the realities behind it, but it's a coding issue because of the systems, making sure we have that set right. So it takes us a deployment to release that. So that will happen first thing Monday morning. But all of those issues are fixed by now and just waiting for the deployment. The other thing that will happen in a deployment likely on Monday is we'll go with a date range change on the credit card fields. So you will then only be required to put two numbers in, 2 numbers in for the month, and 2 numbers in, or 2 digits in for the year. It'll be 2 and 2. Right now it's 2 and 4. It will go to 2 and 2. If you look at the back of your own credit cards, every one of them says month in 2 digits, year in 2 digits. And I think what happened, even though the card space there on the form had gray letters for people to enter, many times they went through that process, didn't see the graying out, perhaps went to click submit on the order, and the order didn't go through for whatever reason. They might have then gotten out of the process, which essentially left their shopping cart sort of hanging. Okay. So let me tell you what we do whenever we roll out a new set of invites. Okay. So let's say that we rolled out 500 invites, and then we decide we're going to roll out another 1,000 invites. We push that pop-up tool to everybody, all 1,000 of their invite systems. Plus, we make sure it's still up on the first 500. And we send anyone who has not upgraded to an influencer or influencer pro from that first group, we include them in the outbound text. All right. So we are always hitting anyone who has not yet upgraded, who has not yet upgraded, who has not yet upgraded. We're hitting them again with a text, making sure that their system has a pop-up in it, everything there, because we want the maximum depth and dispersion for your teams across wherever they are. So we continually will hit them. So by the end of tonight, we'll have this out to 5,000. And then in the morning, when all of our teams are back in play on the different sides of the world, we'll make sure the last few things that need to be absolutely corrected are there. And then we'll open it up to everybody worldwide. A couple of things to remember. While you're in that process, make sure you check your country phone code. There is a pull-down menu. You want to make sure that phone code is exactly for your country. Now, apparently, there's a couple of countries with the pull-down code that have the wrong flag. All right. What you need to know, more importantly, is what is the code. If you know your code, but the flag is somehow wrong, we'll correct the flag. Okay. But make sure the code is correct. Okay. And then make sure your number is correct. All right. Second thing I want to talk to you about is if you do get kicked out, so you get, let's say you receive the text, oh, congratulations, you're an early beta enroller. And then it tells you go here to invite.shopply.com. You click on that, up pops the pop-up. There's a little short video by Nick, which we will replace or remove tomorrow in the middle of that process because everything is pretty much rolling well. Okay, so you'll see that video, and then underneath that video, it says proceed to enroll or go to enroll, I think is what it says, begin enrolling. So you click on that button and you start the process. From time to time, people are getting lost clicking out, whether that's a different type of an operating system for the device they're on, or they simply got out of watching Nick's video and it just pushed them out the door, pushed them out the sideway. Two things to remember. We will reinstate your link. Number two, there have been others that have gone in through my.shopply.com to go in and do an enrollment there. It does work. That is a process that does work. My only concern about going in there is we don't train on that process. It ends up with a different landing page and perhaps a different experience. So if you propagate that in your group, if you push that concept forward in your group, you just became tech support. All right, you just became tech support for helping them figure out those issues, right? Because right now we're solely focused on the invite tool, making sure that works. And here's the other reason why. When we push it live to the entire field, to everybody worldwide as a Shopply family member, that link will only be on their invite system. So they'll go to their invite system, click on it, and end up going to the actual landing page for enrollment. If you start going different paths now in the early days of Shopply, when everything Nick and I are building with Ron's help with all of the flow that deals with a funnel process. If you want to introduce somebody, they go to shopplypartners.com if they want to choose to be this or that. And then they come down through the process and then they decide if they want to enroll. If you're working sideways to get in a different way, you're going to miss the automation that we put in place. The other thing that is going to happen, think about it, you began to teach your teams individually how to go down a certain route when the entire company is going to promote going down this route. We won't have time to come back and train all of your people on option 3, 4, 8, and 12 that you seem to have found. That's then going to become your responsibility. That's going to be difficult for you to continue at speed while the rest of the company is going this way. So now that I've said all that, use it if you wish. I urge you strongly to follow the process as we push the upgrade links out there and stay in sync with the company, okay? Because it will pay off dividends down the road. Last thing I will tell you about it, and then I'm going to ask each of the panelists to give us one issue that they have had or have heard, and then I'll know what's been hit from the panelists, and I won't recover that on the rest of my notes here. So when you go in, you will see that the upgrade having been received there, most of the issues that are going through that have any challenges whatsoever usually come from the bank, from the banking institution themselves, right? So my credit cards, as I said yesterday, when I go on a trip, I always try to have 2 or 3 credit cards of different types, of Visa, MasterCard, and Amex, that I call or get online on my account and put a travel notice in. I do that because if I've been in the United States, let's say for 6 months and have not been out of the country, and then I go to another country, and all of a sudden the credit card sees Rod Larson's credit card is being used in the Philippines, right? Why is Rod Larson's card being used in the Philippines or in Russia or wherever? They will immediately question whether or not these are legitimate purchases because they care about whether or not my card's been used or stolen. So this is why I make a notice. It might make sense for some of your people when you're on your team calls to say, tell your people, first of all, if they receive a response back during the enrollment or upgrade timeframe that says fraud suspicion, that is a bank notice that comes directly from the bank saying, we don't know this vendor, and this seems like a large purchase for you. Usually what happens is the bank also sends a text message or an email that says, do you approve this? So when I get a message like that, I know a text is coming. I look at the text, I click approve, and then the order goes through. We can see that happening on logs, okay? Just so you know, we can see the request. It starts out as a denial, and then another line later, 2 lines later, we see the request coming through. So we can tell that people are approving the purchase after the bank sends them that notice. So either tell the bank first, because you're in business, you're a business person, tell the bank first, I got a big charge coming, all right? Then if you have it and you get the notice, hit the response on your text or on the email. After you're done with that, if there's any other issue, make sure you send an email to betatest@shopley.com. Now, let's go through it with the panel here. We'll start with Nick. Nick, first of all, love your energy. When the video is going, don't think I didn't notice that you were dancing and playing the drums to everything. So tell us how you're doing over there in Greece. How's your European team doing? And what one issue do you think your team has had during the registration that we can solve together and help everyone understand?
All right. Thank you so really much for having me. I'm totally excited as always, and I started dancing because in the previous that I participate, I just making my hands like this, and like that, because I didn't know where to place my hands, like I'm a little big boy. And one lady just started texting me, no, you are Illuminati and you are a Freemason and you are this and you are the other. And I say, yes, I'm the cousin of Spider-Man as well, lady. And yeah, so
Okay.
now I'm trying to do that to look normal, So anyhow, guys, I'm totally excited, and I'm totally excited. Let me share a little bit. Give me a little 2 minutes, because I want to say this to the world, like, because we have a team like, I mean, it's an amazing thing, and. We have a team of 70,000 people, in less than a month, which it's everybody goes for Influencer Pro. And if you're asking me, and what I want to say here, not show off, but if you're asking me, Nick, are you going to have 70,000 in the first month? I surely would say to you, you are crazy, right? What I want to say here, it's like that. Don't ever, guys, think like how I'm going to do that. Because it's not you that you are doing that. It's the power of the team. You never know who knows who and who needs what and how much this will take it. He will grab it from the hair and will expand it to the world and will amaze you. It's not going to do it alone. You know, when someone hits a diamond rank or a top earner rank, you know, in every company, maybe they name it differently, you know, it's not he's doing it. It's unbelievable to do that alone. You know, it's not going to be. You are not a factory. You need a team, you know. So it's out of question how I'm going to do that. Erase these problems, erase that I cannot, you know, and jump in and pass the message to everyone, and let's go together, because this is growing massively and huge, right? One is this. Secondly, this is why I'm laughing and I'm happy. I'm getting inside every 30 minutes and the number is changing and I'm saying, what is happening? What a blessing, I mean, right? And we didn't even talk to everybody yet because everything comes so fast, you know? So don't miss also this opportunity to talk to everybody before someone else will. Now about the problem, maybe that some guys are facing. If you allow me to add 2 words on your amazing advice, Ron, Rod, sorry, my mother is a director of a bank. So I participate in 3 major pre-launches in my whole career, like $1 billion and above companies, right? And I was always pre-pioneer because I know that right position in our industry is pure gold, right? And I applaud you, everybody, that you are here now. But in case that the bank, because I face it a lot, what I was doing and I'm doing, in case that a bank decline your license, you have to call the bank. I mean, you have to call the bank in the fraud department, not just a lady, hello, we will solve it. No, I don't want you, lady. I want the fraud department, right? Okay. You are the one that you are giving the order. Don't take it wrong, but you ordering them. Don't let them play the game to you, you know, back. Because they try to protect you actually from something that has no record. It's brand new, you know, and they see in the system something coming and they try to protect you. But if you call them and say, even after the passage or before is even better, but if you face the problem, call them and say, look your screens, they can see it. And they say, yes, we see the transaction. Okay, release it now. I know what it is, and I'm giving the order. I will do it again, and my persons want to pass. And then everything will be all right, right? Perfect. This is 100%. I'm doing it for years and years, right? And the other thing that I want to share with you, it's like, don't stop passing your dreams to others. Because this is your dream, guys. This is your dream. Right? Don't stop passing the dream. For the next 2 years, we will just starting. That's all for now. Thank you for hearing me.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you so much. I'm wondering, Matthew Britt, you're on call. You're on deck here. So I'd like to hear what your feelings are. So we did get the one issue covered by Nick where, yes, just call your bank. Call them beforehand and say there's a purchase coming through. But if you didn't, and you get stopped, call them up and tell them to release it or use the text they sent you. Matthew, I'm wondering, first off, it's good to see you. How are you doing? And tell us what one thing you may have heard from your team, Matthew, that has caused issues and you want to just bring it up as somebody telling them how to make sure they get through the upgrade process. Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, hey, great to be here, everybody. I'm very thankful and grateful for this opportunity that is in front of us right now. It's a beautiful day here in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and I've had a bunch of people in my team start on this upgrade process. And honestly, the most common thing that I've heard is that the invite has gone away after watching the video, or they've clicked something and it's gone away. So, you know, that's been addressed so far, and I have really honestly received no other issues other than that.
That's awesome. Okay, so let's come back for 2 seconds, and then I'd like to hear how your team's doing and everything else. So real quick, if you are watching the video, if you first land on the upgrade pop-up, right? You're going to your invite tool, the pop-up comes up, there's Nick's video, you start to watch the video. My suggestion to you is pause the video before it ends and don't click outside the video except on the pause button. Once you start it, just click on the pause button. When you're done with clicking on the pause button, you should still be in and you can go straight down to the link to upgrade. What I did when I tested it myself in several test areas, when I clicked outside or I just said, somehow I just stopped the video in a different manner other than pausing it, I did get pushed out. Now that was 2 days ago. when we were doing the initial testing, rolling out the first. So I don't think it's uncommon, but just know going into it, tell your people going into it, when you watch the video, stay within the frame and pause it at the end, and then go straight down to the button. That's the best suggestion I could have for you on that. Before we let you go, Matt, tell us how the juice is going, how the vibe is in your team. Love to hear it.
Yeah, man, it's going fantastic. Everybody is excited to receive their invites. Everybody who's gotten them so far has taken action and upgraded, and people are sharing like crazy. The team is growing rapidly every day. We're approaching 560 people now inside the group in 19 countries and just getting warmed up.
Wow.
So I continue to really try to inspire people around the big picture. You know, what I mean by that is, let's not think about today and what's happening right now. Let's envision ourselves out a few years. And we've gathered tens of thousands of the world's best vendors, and we've been able to gather millions of customers, millions of affiliates. We've all changed our shopping habits to be buying through our own e-commerce platform that we are a part of. And when that begins to happen, we've now got $100+ million a day business, and we get to own a share in that. You know, the way I'm framing this for people is, I spend $800 to buy a share in the Shoply platform. Now, it's not a physical certificate that I'm getting. However, I now get to go increase my share value by bringing on other affiliates, by bringing on other influencers and influencer pros, by bringing in other vendors and gathering a boatload of customers, and changing my shopping patterns and inspiring my team to do the same thing. And as we all do that and increase the value of our share, we get to earn more and more of the Shoply revenue. So I'm really helping to implant the big picture within my group so that they don't see today's challenges as anything, and instead are focusing on the long term of what's possible here. And then these minor things, they just roll off your back.
Thank you so much. Really great to see you. Congrats on the team and the energy that's going on. Thanks for your insight on everything else. Stacy, you're on deck. I want to bring up a couple of things with you and have you, if you could, spool up the slide that deals with the schedule from here going forward. Prep that and get it ready. Let's throw that on the screen here in a moment whenever you're ready. So Stacy's been absolutely critical in helping us in all of our Zooms. If you were with us yesterday, you could see how critical she is, because they did a really bad thing. They gave Rod the controls of the Zoom as well and the video, and that was tragic. So now we're going forward with the real pros at the wheel, and we're gonna have her pop up the schedule. We're gonna go through the schedule real quick, and at the end of that, Stacy, I want to ask you what your impressions have been with team members, any issues that we haven't mentioned, okay? All right, let's look at the schedule and let's make sure everybody here, you've got your leader hat on. Each one of you, some of you here are, let's call it, fairly young or new in our business, don't have the depth of understanding and time under your belt as, for example, the members of the panel might. But so all of you on this Zoom are leaders, and so we need to instill now, what is the questions that people are going to ask relative to dates, and how do I do it? So take a screenshot of this, use your phone to take a picture of it. If you don't have it, you of course know where the Telegram channel is. Stacy will pop that up in just a second as well. So let's go through this date. Today is the 25th of August. We are in the release time frame for upgrading. You note at the top line that upgrading goes from the 22nd through the 27th at 11:59 Central, midnight here in Dallas, Texas, right? This is important. People can upgrade after Tuesday night because it's open until August 31st, 11:59. But here's what's important. Everybody that has somebody in their team that has upgraded needs to upgrade, so that if that's their own personal enrollee, they can receive the license bonus. Everybody understand me? You have to be active to receive parts of the compensation plan. Your activity, first level of activity for you, because we're at the very beginning, is to be a registered or upgraded member of the team. So if you've got people in the team in your team beneath you that have upgraded. You need to make sure you are upgraded before them. If it's your personal enrollee from which you would receive the license bonus, if your personal enrollee is enrolled, there is a license bonus ready for you. You have to be upgraded in order to receive that license bonus. So that first week will end the 27th of August at midnight. More people can enroll, but you need to make sure that you are each enrolled. Pass the word out to your team. After that happens, more will enroll, and really consider it that the people from the base of the tree, the very earliest people in, need to be upgraded, need to be enrolled. So as the rest of them do, you're in place for all of the bonuses that can be. And of course, at the end of the 31st at midnight, at the last day of August, that's when we stop the enrollment for the first community build out. The community bonus nodes will then be loaded after August 31st. Okay. So everyone needs to have upgraded by then. Now they'll still have an opportunity to upgrade, but they won't be in the first run of the community bonus. They will be in line for the next spot in the community bonus. So you need to push, we need to push, we need to push and work with everybody to get them into the community bonus by the end of August 31st at midnight, no later. Once they do, if they miss that, they will go into what we call the fast pass. We'll explain what the fast pass is. It's a continual list of people that are in the waiting process now. The door closed on the plane, and they're waiting now for the next plane to pull up and come in. And that next plane will be there for a week, and then the following week the door will close on that, and then we'll redo the matrix again, redo the community bonus again. So understand what needs to happen. Everybody inside the company right now, and we should all be pushing out more invites. By the way, we're at 110,000 now. So just 2 nights ago, we were at 100,000. Now we're at 110. I want to give you the challenge to get us to 150,000 before we close the door on August 31st. Can you imagine what an amazing, amazing lift that would be? So everyone that's in there right now, get them upgraded, get them into the plane, into the plane, into the plane, get them all the way into the process so that once the upgrade path is done for the first time at midnight at the end of August 31st, we shut the doors. Everybody has gotten in and will be part of the first community bonus nodes. Okay. Then a couple of other reminders. The next day, September 1st, we will start working heavily on attracting affiliates. Affiliates will be anybody who did not upgrade to be an influencer pro. We should work with them immediately to be an affiliate. Okay. If for whatever reason they didn't want to do it, couldn't do it, didn't see it, they should become an affiliate immediately. All right. So stop and do the math. If we just had 150,000 affiliates, this would be an incredible launch. So whatever group is not influencers, influencer pros, let's get them into an affiliate status starting September 1st. All right, that's your goal. I think I'm going to spend 1 second, Stacy, and then I'll get to you. 1 second sharing what I think is a philosophy or a theory that I have. And I was really happy to see Jonathan Santa Cruz the other day on the call. And I loved what his statement was, which was he has a goal to help 5,000 people break the bonds of ongoing poverty, the cycle of poverty. I do believe in regional markets where it is difficult for them to buy an influencer or influencer pro model, I believe what will happen is we will still see huge numbers of influencers and influencer pros as team leaders and a significantly higher percentage of affiliates in those markets. Why is that? Because affiliates can make money, cash money immediately by referring a product to somebody, and they can get revenue in. They can also buy the product themselves and sell it in their neighborhood, which is common practice in many regions around the world, where every day is a scrap and a hustle to sell a product, sell something positive, get some cash, go back the next day and do it again. So let's understand how absolutely critically strong affiliates are. Let's get on that. September 1st, affiliates. After that, we'll then turn the entire group towards everything: influencer pros, influencers, affiliates, and customers. All right. Now, September 8th, very important because we need to get our customers in, looking at our products, familiarized with us. We need to have outbound. Every one of our affiliates, every one of us needs to have 10, 20, 30 customer outbound texts with links in them about a product that's really exciting on Shoply. that they can buy, right? With about a piece of content that we think applies to them. Something to get our affiliates in our court, tied to us, our customers, excuse me, tied to us making a purchase, because it won't be long after September 8th when we go into the holiday season. And wouldn't it be great if we all had a customer make a purchase sometime in September, October, before they start looking to find something for Christmas or for their holiday gifts? All right, just a thought for you. The rest of it you can look at. September 10th, the first community bonus will be delivered. September 15th, vendors, we will start to bring vendors on as a process. By then, all influencer pros should have gone through the training process to be very, very good at bringing vendors on. The full funnel system will be in place. Everything will start to really roll at that point. At this current time, we are planning a Dallas pre-launch October 5th through the 7th. May actually be October 3rd through the 5th through the 7th. We're looking at that. So just know that we're working on that, and it's coming up. Stay tuned. Make sure you participate in every snapshot and every Q&A session. This is the time, because the pre-launch only happens once. And the way you succeed at the pre-launch is massive action and massive training. Massive action, massive training. The more you push those two principles down, massive action, massive training, everybody's doing the simple play every day. As our friend Jake Dixon would say, you're just hitting the ball every day, hitting the ball every day, hitting the ball every day, 200-300 times, catching the ball 200-300 times. The basic plays that make you better. Right now, that is absolutely passing invites out, absolutely upgrading, absolutely being on every training session and promoting the same thing to your team. So Stacy, back to you. While we're there, bring up, if you would, the Telegram channel to make sure everybody is here. Even if you are on the Telegram channel, take a picture of this so you can send it out to somebody that is not. We need to get that number something closer to 10,000 people than what we currently have. That's our official location. Stacy, what have I missed in anything you've heard from your groups about an upgrade challenge that we need to cover, if anything? You're muted.
There we go. Okay, so I don't think you've missed anything. The only thing that a couple people have asked are things about the year, the expiration date. Like you said, it's 2 years. If you're putting in 2 years, make sure you put in 4. You said that might change at some point. I'm trying to think of the questions that I've answered. I've answered a few Q&A questions as we've been going through as well. Main thing, you guys, is if there's a issue, if there's a problem, these are the 3 most diligent and hardworking individuals at the helm of our ship. And so just know that if you send it in, they're going to be on top of it. They're going to write that, fix it, do whatever they can to make it right. I mean, Rod's hat yesterday said Dallas the right way, and he's been working so hard it flipped upside down, and now it says Dallas upside down. And so that's how hard he's been working. But just don't panic, you guys. You have until the 31st to upgrade. You don't lose your spot. Your RSVP holds that spot for you. It's like a little mini you avatar sitting in your spot in the digital space, waiting for you to say yes. So you have until the 31st. If you've got banking issues, if you've got tech issues, if you just have issues, no worries. You can upgrade until that point and your spot will stay secure. If there's any problems that you have, reach out to support, reach out to your upline leaders, reach out to corporate, and we will get those things solved for you. Don't panic, no problem. We'll get it taken care of. Right, Rod?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, funny about the hat. Thank you so much. Listen, we have so much respect for everybody in the field and everyone that joined us today. Thank you for spending a little bit of time on your Sunday, on your weekend, getting that extra training. Those that do participate in every call that they can, I think they'll come out big in the end. Ron, do you have anything to add to us before we close down? And if you do, you want to say any final words and maybe pass it off then to Chris to close down the call. My name is Rod Larson, CEO of the company. That means I'm up late looking at data, and I love it. It's part of what we do during this phase. So let's go. I am your servant. Passing it to you, Ron, for a final message, and then pass it to Chris to close out. I'm out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rod. Rod's done such an amazing job, guys. I've been so impressed with the work he's been doing, the hours he's been holding, the team he's been interacting with. Just really well done, world class. I want to thank Matthew and Nick and Stacy and Chris, everybody for being on, especially those who joined from all around the world today. you can see that we're staying connected because this is how it all works. We stay connected with you, you stay connected with your people, and so forth and so forth. So make sure the way you engage people is through your invites, whether it's upgrade or invites. That's how you engage and keep the motor running, right? So keep doing that. Outside of that, man, I'm just so happy for the people right now. You know, I can't wait to get on the other side of this because we'll start getting warm and you'll see what we'll do at that point. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Right now, it's all the steps. Follow the steps that Rogers taught you, that Nick talked about, that Matthew talked about, that Stacy talked about, Chris is talking about, that I'm talking about, that Nick talks about. It's all about the steps right now, guys, and staying completely engaged because you can. So you can find there's 1,000 ways to lead. Find one right now. So with that, Chris, I'm going to turn it back to you, bud. Thanks.
Hey, thank you. And thank you everybody for joining us today. These things every time they just get a little bit more amazing, a little bit more amazing. I probably got a little excited because during this Zoom, I received 2 texts just upgraded, you know, and those things make you feel good. Why? Because people are taking it serious, and 2, because the system is working. And we've all known, you just heard, you know, quite a bit about it. The little fixes are being put in. Okay, so people are working around the clock, so don't sweat it. Here's what you should be sweating. Who haven't you invited yet? Are you just sitting there with your arms crossed waiting on your upgrade signal to come through? You might have just missed out on 3, 4, 5 leaders. Not just people, but leaders. We can't stop inviting. We can't stop presenting. And if you'll use the system, you know, I was telling the panel before we started, I still use the original sizzle video. Been using it for 6, 7 weeks now. I use that, I send a recording, I send them an invite, and I put them in. That's it. I'm keeping this as easy and as simple as humanly possible because that is what will duplicate. So keep it simple. Here's the last thing I'll leave you with. The company is just now starting to make a penny. They've given us all these tools before they even made a single penny. I can't wait to see how they continue to help us make this entire process from meeting a stranger or calling your best friend, from that initial call to all the way to Influencer Pro. They're going to make this system so easy, so simple. Don't miss out. We'll see you next time. God bless you guys.
Stacy, give me a second, please. Just a second to say something. It's very important. May I?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, as we closing, just to remind, I want to give you a gift, everybody, you know, to the whole global community of ours. Like before 2 days, our amazing president, Nick Sarnicola, came to Europe. He went first, you know, to Sweden. What an amazing event. Today is in Netherlands, Eindhoven, and tomorrow he will be in Greece, Thessaloniki, Greece, where I will be there. So I want to give a gift. Who do you know that knows someone in Greece? The Met Hotel Thessaloniki, the Met Hotel, 6:30 afternoon, right? Send it to me. Send it to us. Send your people to us. We will treat them as a family, create an international network, right? Open countries. Where we are, you are. We are one team. Tomorrow, the Met Hotel Thessaloniki, Greece. See, 18:30. Who do you know? The question now is, who do you know that knows someone in Greece? Expand internationally. After this, Cyprus and then London. Thank you so really much. God bless.